Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Dawn over here, and today we are doing a ranking of all the concealers I tried in 2023. I've obviously tried more, but these are all the ones I tried in 2023. We have 9 here. I have B-roll I will insert while I'm speaking of each one. I'll let you guys know the information that they claim, and then I will read my little hefty notes I have here. I have some notes that I wrote down as I was trying these out over the last few months, 6 months. Some of these are newish. There's one that's very new that you guys will see in a trying out new makeup video, but I apologize as well that this is going up later than planned. I also had a ranking my skin tints video and that has not gone up yet. I'm still debating if I should just scratch that or do it. So please comment below if you're interested in seeing that. It's just been crazy here. I've already explained it a million times, so I'm not going to explain it again. But I wanted to have that done before 2024, and that's not going to happen. But if there's enough people that are still interested in me doing that, I'm more than willing to film the B-roll for that and film the sit-down portion for that for you guys and share with you guys my ranking of the skin tints I tried in 2023. You just won't see them until through 2024. So let me know. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know my ranking of these from 1 to 9, 1 being the favorite, 9 being the least favorite. And then, as I said, I will pop up somewhere here on the screen the B-roll that I filmed while I applied them for you guys so you can see them in action. And my under eye area, let me tell you, I did all 9 B-rolls in one day. My under eyes are not liking me right now. It was a lot of applying and taking off. All right, thank you guys so much. And as always, please subscribe and smash that like button. And without further ado, let's get to this ranking. Coming in at number 5, this may be one that not a lot of people agree with. And as always, these are my opinions and my opinions only. You guys may have different thoughts, may have different opinions, and that is fine. I'm just sharing with you guys my experience with these concealers this year. And just for a little bit of reference, I am 38 or 39. I keep forgetting my age. 38. I believe I'm 38. I just turned 38, I believe, in December. Either 38 or 39. Either way, I'm going on my 40s. I do have a little bit of fine lines and wrinkles down there. I have dry under eyes, dry skin. I have some texture right in this area. So it's always good, I feel like, to let you guys know that information, especially for a ranking. But this is the Urban Decay Quickie. It retails for $33. I have it in 40N, and it's supposed to be a 24-hour full coverage, waterproof and hydrating. Here's the wand, and let me give you guys a swatch, and then there will be B-roll footage, like I said, up here as I'm speaking of each one. So I will say I don't agree with any of that for my under eyes. So it's drying, it's caking. With all my powders, it's very drying, it's very caking, whether I use a powder puff, whether I use a brush, no matter how I apply this concealer, it looked really bad. And it settled in my fine lines and wrinkles instantly. All concealers will at least crease a little on me, but I always base the creasing off of how much. Even my number 1 here creases just a little, but it's so little that it's nothing for me. It's my number 1. But this, I'm sorry if you like it, but this is crap for me. And I have not used it in so long because of that. And when I do a declutter video, this will probably go. I do keep some stuff around from a declutter series videos. I've only done like 1 or 2 of those, and I do plan to do another one in the beginning of 2024. 4 videos like this, but this was crap. I do not like it. I apologize if you liked it, but my opinion, it did not work at all for me. And this may be one you don't agree with as well, because I know a lot of people like this. It is the Makeup Forever HD Smooth and Blur, retails for $29. I have mine in 2.2N. It's a natural finish. It's supposed to have a plumping effect, good for dark circles, lawn wearing, and hydrating. Now, I will say it's very lightweight. It's very thin. The wand is very flexible, so I do enjoy all that. Now, I do know the shade is completely off, as you can probably see in the B-roll. And it's too yellow to be a neutral, and it's cakey on my under eyes as well. And it settles into fine lines like you wouldn't believe, just like the Quickie does, which I was very confused, I guess, or perplexed about, because it's so thin. I don't know how it settles so quickly. No matter what I did, it settled very quickly into my fine lines. So this is at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is the Tula, which one's this called? Radiant Skin Brightening. I have in the shade 110, retails for $32. It's a serum-like texture, medium to full, 16-hour wear, has peptides, caffeine, and niacinamide. I have no idea if it wears for 16 hours. I don't agree that it is full coverage. I find this more on the lighter coverage, but it definitely is a good brightening effect, and I can feel the skincare. It's very thin and lightweight, so I like that about it. It doesn't settle into my creases as much as the Makeup Forever and Quickie. And what were my other notes here? The shade is too light, and although it's definitely too much of a lighter coverage for me to wear on its own, I do sometimes like to pair it with more of a medium coverage one to give me some brightness, and that's why it's in the number 7 spot. Here we have the Flower Beauty Get Real Serum. I have in shade Vanilla. It's supposed to brighten, blur, and smooth, and I definitely agree with that. It's definitely very smoothing on the under eyes. I feel like brightening, not as much as the Tula, but I feel like if you got maybe a lighter shade, it could be, because mine's a little bit darker. And that's one thing that I liked over the Tula, is the shade was more matching, but it's very a nice medium buildable, lightweight, but it's not as smoothing as I would like it to be. And it, even though it is lightweight, it's a little bit thicker than the Tula. But the main reason why this did come in at the spot after the Tula one was mainly because of the shade, and it does give a little bit more of a lightweight look to the eye. It may not feel like it's lightweight. I definitely feel like the formula is thicker, but it makes my under eyes look more lightweight than the Tula one, which is interesting because the Tula one is so lightweight. But I feel like that one, the shade just kind of really throws it off. And any of the other shades I looked at would have been too dark or too light. I really spent some time trying to get my shade in the Tula one. So it's not like that's one that I can go and get another shade and change my mind about. It's not. And that's why this one is at the number 6 spot. Here we have the Physicians Formula Butter Glow. It retails for $10.19. Interesting drugstore pricing. I have mine in the shade light to medium. It's a radiant boosting, multi-use, awakened skin, and it's buildable. So this is almost like the Tula and the Flower Beauty. This one I feel like definitely gives me more of a brightening look to the under eyes. It's more hydrating, as you can see. It's a lot more thinner. And I feel like the shade is just even a little bit better than the Flower Beauty, which they're so close in the shade, but this one is a little bit darker than the Flower Beauty. Sometimes, you know, when you have too light of a concealer, it gets really just gunky under your eyes. It doesn't look good. It looks ashy. It looks gray. So this one is very close to Flower Beauty shade, but this one's just a tad bit darker. And that's one of the main reasons why it came in at the number 5 spot over the Flower Beauty. And it is definitely more lightweight feeling. It's more smoothing, and it's more brightening. So this is our number 5 spot. I apologize, guys. We have 10. So Quickie was in the 10, Makeup Forever in the 9, Tula in the 8, Flower Beauty in the 7, Physicians Formula in 6, and Haus Labs comes in 5, number 5 spot. I don't know why I thought 9. So this is the Haus Labs new one. So this is one of the newer ones to my collection. The next one is the newest, and that says a lot for the fact that it's in the top 4, and it came out better than the Haus Labs. And I had high hopes for the Haus Labs, you guys. Like, this one's a natural finish, and it retails for $32. I have it in 11 light. It's hydrating and medium coverage. I would agree that's medium coverage. The wand is a little hard to get out. I do like the wand, but it's hard to get it out of its packaging. It's a very flexible wand, and it looks like it would be very lightweight when you swatch it, but it is too thick on my under eyes. That's a big thing for me. It's too thick, it gets cakey, it's too drying, and it settles really quick on my under eyes. So that's why it's in the spot that it's in. So here we have the Kufi. Now this one is the newest to my collection, but we have it in the number 4 spot. for a good reason. So it retails for $26. I have mine in Cocoa Shade. It's supposed to be self-setting, which I agree with. I do set it with powder from time to time, but it creases very little when I don't set it. So I do like that. If I'm in a quick hurry or I just don't feel like setting it, I can do that and I don't have a lot of creases. And if I need to go through and all I have to do is take my finger, press out those creases, and I'm good for the rest of the day. It's supposed to be crease proof, which so many concealers say that, and I have yet to find one that does not crease even slightly. And it's a medium coverage. I agree with that. It's hydrating. I agree with that. The packaging is very cute. And the main reason why I have it in the number 4 is the shade Cocoa Crush is a good shade for me. It's not too dark, it's not too light, and it's so hydrating. What you see on the back of the hand here, how hydrating it looks, how lightweight it is, how thin it is, that's how it transfers on the under eyes. It pairs really well with so many of my powders when I do set it. And again, it's self-setting. Here in the number 3, we have the Natasha Hy-glam, retails for $30. I have mine in N4, which is a perfect shade for me, neutral 4. It's hydrating, lawn wear, medium. I would agree with all of that. I absolutely love this. Before I got the Natasha, or not the Natasha, the Haus Labs, and the last 2, this was my number 1. I'm almost out of this. I used it all the time. It is the perfect shade. And as you can see, it's a little bit more hydrating than the Kufi, and that is one of the reasons why it came in at number 3 instead of the Kufi. So we have Kufi here, Kufi here, and Natasha Denona here. So the shades are off, but the shade in Natasha, I do like a little bit better than this, and it's so much more hydrating, and it's so radiant but natural. And when I set my under eyes, you know, sometimes you have this radiant, beautiful, natural concealer, and then you set it and it just goes completely matte. The Natasha doesn't do that. I can set it, and no matter what setting powder I'm using, it still has a little bit of that radiance. It comes a little bit matte, more like a soft matte, but the radiance still peeks through, and it's long lasting. These last 3, they are all 3 very long lasting. They look beautiful, all of them, but this one we're speaking of right now, the number 3, is just so long lasting. It's beautiful on the under eyes. I reach for it way more than any of these. And again, this was my number 1 for the longest time until all these concealers towards the end of 2023 came out. And there was one that took its spot, and it makes me sad, but this is one that I absolutely will repurchase. Even though I have a different number 1 now, this will be one that will stay in my collection. Now, at number 2, it was such a hard tie between this and the first one. This is the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin. Retails for $29. I have mine in shade 200. It's a medium coverage, long wear, self-setting, blurs, brightens, smooths, and it does a lifting effect to my under eyes, at least. That's not a claim it gives, and it's a natural finish. Those are all the claims besides the lifting effect. I don't know what's in here, but there is something in this concealer that does something to my under eyes. Like, the shade is a tad darker, but that doesn't matter. Like, it's so natural and beautiful on the under eyes, and it is definitely full coverage, but it does this beautiful lifting to my under eyes. It's just so gorgeous. Here's what the shade looks like, and it's actually hydrating. And for being a full coverage, it's thin, hydrating, and again, like I said, it lifts. I hope you guys can see that lifting effect in the B-roll, because honestly, like I said, I went back and forth between this and my number 1 spot, but I don't reach for full coverage, like unless it's a special event, a holiday, something like that. And the only other full coverage I had was the Urban Decay Quickie. So, I mean, that was obvious. That was coming in at number 10. This had to come in at number 2, because when I really want my under eyes to be lifted, concealed, snatched, and I've even used this on an everyday basis, but when I have something special going on, this is the one I reach for over any other. It's such a beautiful concealer, and it's one I definitely highly recommend. The last 4 I highly recommend: the Kufi, the Natasha Denona Hy-glam, and this Makeup by Mario Surreal or Surreal Serum Concealer. It's beautiful. If you're looking for a full coverage, this is the one I would recommend, and it's coming in at our number 2 spot. And this beautiful girl is our number 1. It is the Tower 20 Swipe All Over Serum Concealer that retails for $22. I have it in shade 1E. It's a medium natural finish hydrating concealer. And I'm telling you guys, this is beautiful. I mean, packaging's adorable. Love Tower 28, love their prices, love just everything they stand for. And the shade is a beautiful shade. It's hydrating, it's very thin. This, I'm telling you, like, creases this much on me. And then I just pat it out once and I'm done for the rest of the day. Does not settle, it is not dry, it's not cakey. It's so smooth on my under eyes. It brightens my under eyes. It looks so natural and beautiful. This is my number 1 spot, and this is the number 1 that I recommend. I would definitely say it is a medium coverage for me. Some days I have to go in with maybe a brightener, and then I'll go in with this, because if I didn't get much sleep, I have really bad dark circles. But on a good day, I don't need very much of this. I put a little dot here, little dot here. In the B-roll, I only did 1 dot here and blended it out just to give you guys the look. But most days it's just 2 small dots and I'm good. You don't need very much. I do definitely think that this is a medium. And honestly, I feel like if you don't have a lot of problems on your under eyes, you can definitely build it up to a full coverage. And this is amazing, amazing for dry skin. It is so hydrating, so thin, definitely serum-like. But you know, a lot of serum-like thinner concealers will just blend themselves out. This doesn't. You keep your pigment, you keep your coverage, and it looks beautiful all day. I definitely set this. It's not one that's self-setting, doesn't claim to be self-setting, so I do set it, but it pairs well with every powder I own. I've tried it over and over with every powder. I've paired it with numerous foundations. It wears well with all my foundations. I like to usually, when I apply my makeup on it every day, sometimes when I'm filming a video, I have to kind of mix up my routine on how I do things normally, but I like to go in with blush, bronzer, and my face products first, and then I'll go in with concealer after, in case I will go crazy with blush. And it kind of doing it that way in that order helps, you know, fix any of your heavy-handedness from your blush. This does an amazing job for that. All of these I mainly use on my under eyes. I have tried them all on the face. In the B-roll, I show them on my under eyes because that's what I use them the most for. I will say this one does a really good job of concealing things on your face, like right here. This was a pimple. It's now just pretty much a dot, and I used this today when I did my makeup. This is what I have on my under eyes right now, and as you can see, it's so beautiful under there, but it concealed that pretty darn well. It's almost completely covered. Highly recommend this. This will definitely be one I repurchase. Like I said, all 4 of these will be 4 that I could come into 2024, and I will keep these in my collection. Now, obviously, if more come out in 2024, there might be more that I will repurchase in the future. But as of right now, these are my top 4. These are the 4 that I'm bringing in with me as a repurchase in 2024. But this is our beautiful number 1 spot. Hey guys, that is it. I do apologize for the little mix up when I said we have 9, we had 10, but we got that all worked out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is my first ranking type of video. So again, let me know if you are interested in me doing the same style for my skin tints. I'll do B-rolls like I did for this, and then I will share my thoughts on what each skin tint claims, and then my opinions on it and why I have them in the spot I have them. This was fun. It really helped me just dive back into all the concealers I tried this year and be like, oh yeah, that's why I didn't like that, and that's why I like this, and oh yeah, I remembered that. And I will say the one that makes me sad the most in this is the Haus Labs. I will say that real quickly because I had such high hopes because I love her foundation. I have not repurchased it yet because I've tried so many foundations this year, but going into 2023, I do have a New Year's resolution of staying in the low buy, of not purchasing a lot, and also diving more into drugstore makeup. But I definitely want to repurchase the Haus Labs foundation because it's beautiful. So I had high hopes for this. I love the packaging. I love Haus Labs, but that one just fell short for me. And that's the only one that made me sad. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe, be a part of my family here, and I'll be back very soon, my friends. Thank you, I love you, and until then, bye.